Hi everyone, I'm Nate.
I'm Sarah.
And as you may have noticed, we've been gone for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we normally post videos twice a week, Monday and Friday. Yeah, it's been a little bit. But there's been a good reason.
Yes, yes.
Not that I feel like we need a good reason. This is for fun, so.
Yeah.
But the reason was...
we had COVID.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, we got it. During that time, we talked about doing videos a couple times, but we're never really feeling up to it.
This is a serious virus, so we should focus on getting better and just resume YouTube once we are feeling up to it.
Yeah, so that's what this video is going to be about.
So that's the upside, is now we feel better.
Yeah.
So it was a couple Saturdays ago, I woke up like in the middle of the night, like 3 in the morning. I was not feeling good. I could not go back to sleep. I went all the way downstairs to get water and I just was not feeling good, and I woke up the next morning and I felt even worse. Thankfully, I didn't have anything to do, so I was just at home, and usually I'm like such a busybody that like I can't just sit still, but I felt so horrible that like at one point I was literally sitting on the ground, like I started crying because I was like, I need to eat something, like I need to like get either some water or some nutrients into my body, but I felt so bad that I was literally afraid to go down the stairs from our room to the kitchen to cook and like to stand.
I was at my parents' house painting. That's why I wasn't like going and getting her stuff. You guys don't think I'm like crazy and horrible and just letting her be sick. I was gone.
And I wasn't like, I typically downplay how bad I feel in the moment just because like with chronic migraines and like I have health issues, so it's like I'm used to just like moving forward with my day if I feel bad. So not being able to do that was like, almost, it was scary. I was pretty scared because I didn't know that I had COVID at the time, obviously. Especially because like we are pretty dang safe when it comes to, we always have our masks on. We haven't really been doing anything social. We haven't seen our friends in person in months. Like, so what happened is later that afternoon, I missed a call from my sister, and then my mom came in the room with her phone and handed it to me. So I knew, and it was my sister, so I knew that something was up. She told me that she had tested positive. Like she had just got tested because she wasn't feeling great either. And she was calling me because I had seen her a couple days prior. She is a hairdresser. And she had just done my hair like a couple days ago. So we had obviously been in contact. We were wearing masks, obviously, while she was cutting my hair, but I'd driven in the car with her without a mask.
And then that morning, I had driven Sydney to the mechanic. It was only about like 10 minutes or so, but then I went over to my parents' house and I was painting, and I saw Sarah had called me like 4 times and then texted me like right as I was leaving. So I was in the car and then read that, and then I was like, crap. I was like, I have to like, I was just around my parents. Both of my parents luckily are like fully vaccinated and everything, but like I was also with my like 5-year-old niece and nephew, and then my older brother came over for a minute. And
we never do this. This is like the most frustrating part, is it was like the worst timing ever because we like don't see people. Through this pandemic, we never see people because we typically play it very safe, and it happened to be the one week that like I see my sister in person, like in a smallish space, a car. And then the one time you go over and actually spend some time trying to help your family paint was the week that we were exposed.
So then like, that night was basically spent trying to figure out where we can get a rapid test or just any test done that night.
Because I already felt horrible. As soon as my sister told me that she tested positive, I was like, I definitely am going to be positive, because there's no way that I feel this horrible and was exposed to COVID and it's just like happens to be some other sickness.
So
and then we obviously spend so much time together that if I'm positive.
So then we weren't able to get a test that night. My mom was calling me trying to figure out where I can get a test, and she ended up finding one that I could do the next day at like 9:30 in the morning, and it was a rapid test. And so we scheduled that. I went in there and I'm like, hey, so I was just exposed to someone who had it yesterday. I'm like 99% sure that my girlfriend has had it for the last 2 days. She that morning she had just had a fever of like 102 or something like that, and they were like, well, technically you weren't exposed to someone, but she hadn't been positively tested.
Yeah, I couldn't find anywhere to get tested soon enough because it was a weekend, which weirdly enough on a weekend it was really hard to find a place that would do tests.
Yeah, so they were like, you weren't really exposed to someone who's got a positive test in a certain amount of time, and I was like, but I'm more than sure that she has it. So I kind of had to fight them a little bit to get my test. It's supposed to take like 10 minutes for the rapid test, and like 3 minutes goes by and it goes bing, and then the doctor looks at me and she was like, well, that's not a good sign, which is like a weird thing to say to someone who's taking a COVID test.
Yeah, a pretty serious test.
But it came back positive, which I had a feeling it would, so it came back positive, and then I went home and told her it was positive, and then I called my parents and everyone, and basically at that point we were like, okay, well, Sarah's definitely positive, but we should just get the positive test.
Yeah. So then the same day, later that day, I had gotten a test scheduled, and he took me in. The place was super efficient, which was awesome. I went in, they like immediately sat me down, they did the swab. It was a rapid test as well, because since I didn't have to fight for a rapid test because I knew that I was exposed to someone who tested positive, 2 people at that point. And like he said, it's supposed to take like 10 to 15 minutes or something, and they left me in the room for a minute. They took the test with them, but like I sat on my phone for maybe like 3 minutes, max 5, and all of a sudden I hear a knock at the door, and the door slides open, and this guy sticks his head in, and he's like, hi, Sarah, you want to follow me, and I just want to chat with you. Or he didn't even say that, he just said like, will you follow me? And I get up, I'm like, yeah, of course. I follow him, and he goes straight out the front door of the clinic. So he takes me from the exam room and walks me out the front door, and like I realized that he's taking me like outside onto the sidewalk. I was like, okay, if I didn't already know it was positive, it's definitely positive now, as I'm getting like escorted out of the building. So then he turned around and he was like, told me that I was positive, and I was just like, yeah, I figured.
I got that from you, like herding me outside like a leper or something.
Yeah, which I understand. It was totally fine. I'm glad, like, whatever you guys know is the safest, let's do that. And like I said, I already knew I was going to be positive, so. Yeah, so then we went home and we just kind of called anyone that we could have possibly
been
given
in
it
contact
to.
with, yeah.
But we were so lucky that we didn't pass it to anybody.
We're not.
Yeah.
And also, luckily, Sarah had just done one of them the first time, we didn't even know we had it yet, did the little Fred Meyer, like, pick up your order.
Yeah.
And so, luckily, her mom was able to go and get a bunch of groceries for us so that we didn't have to, we wouldn't have left anyways.
Yeah.
But we got a bunch of groceries, so we were set for a while.
Because we knew that we were going to have to quarantine. As soon as we knew we were both positive, as soon as we knew we were exposed, knew we were going to have to quarantine to be safe. And then once we got positive, we were like, yeah, okay. So now we really cannot, like, we can't do anything in contact with people. We basically hung out at home the whole time. We knew that we could, like, some people were saying, like, we could go on walks and things like that, which we did go on, like, 1 or 2 walks, but we were so tired.
Yeah.
It was not a good time.
We live upstairs in our house, and, like, I've never felt, like, fatigue like that before. Like, I walked up the stairs and then was gassed for, like, 45 minutes.
Yeah, like, it's pretty normal for us to, like, talk to each other, like, while we're still walking up the stairs or something. Like, I would be walking up the stairs and he would already be upstairs, and I, like, wouldn't be able to talk to him as I'm, like, trying to take the stairs. Yeah. Because it was just, like, I was so out of breath.
We didn't get, like, really, really bad symptoms.
Yeah,
like,
we were really lucky. We never had to go into the hospital.
Yeah, we never were hospitalized. We both had fevers for a couple of days, but they never really went over, like, mine never went over like 102.
Yeah, I think both of us maxed out at like just about 102.
The thing that got me, and I don't know if it was like because of COVID, I don't know what it was, but like we both got headaches so bad that like our eyeballs hurt.
Yeah, it literally was like if I was facing this way, like trying to turn my eyes to look at him, like it hurt.
It was like
It was
painful.
bad. Yeah, it was really interesting too because I had been exposed one day before, and the entire time that we were sick, he was one day behind me in the symptoms.
Yeah.
Which it's like, yes, you were exposed one day before, but everybody's body is different. So every time I woke up and it was like, okay, how am I feeling today? That's how you're gonna feel tomorrow. So we had headaches. Our eyes were super sore. We had fevers. We were so tired and just fatigued. Like,
throat soreness.
So achy. Yeah, we ended up,
achiness too. Yeah.
We got like sinus pressure and like we were all stuffed up. Thankfully, our county's health department called us and gave us any information and gave us any resources that we may need. Thankfully, we were okay.
They were super, super nice.
Yeah, they were super nice, and we were also so lucky. I felt so loved. Like, I could cry now thinking about how many people offered to help us, whether it was like getting groceries, getting medicine, do like literally anything. Like,
some people that we only met once.
Yeah, people that I haven't seen in years were like, if you need anything, let me know. Or they were like, I had it in spring. Let me know if you have any questions or anything.
It was pretty great.
Amazing. It was the shining light through the 10 days of quarantine.
We were so safe that another person who lives in the house still didn't catch it.
Yeah.
Like, we wiped it. We bleach wiped everything down in the kitchen every time we used it. We left the windows open so that we can get better air circulation.
We weren't sharing a bathroom at all.
She didn't get it. We were really lucky she didn't get it. And she ended up being able to get like her first shot for the vaccine. So
I was also so happy that by like day 8, after we had tested positive or our symptoms had started, we were already feeling so much better.
Yeah.
So by the like 10-day mark, we were able to not be quarantined anymore. And we could, go buy our own groceries.
And our anniversary was like the day after I was like done with my quarantine.
Yeah.
We didn't really do much. We just hung out.
Yeah, because we
Pretty chill.
I would say we're at like 95% back to normal. I'm like part of me.
A walk is still tiring.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm trying to be very like kind to my body and know that like, you know what, body, you just did something super awesome. You just fought something that not everyone can fight. So you know what, if you need to take it easy, I'm gonna let you take it easy.
Yeah, that's why I kept telling myself like throughout it too. Like whenever I was like, thinking like, oh, I could just do that. I'm like, okay, this is like a virus like that's like killed a lot of people, and like I'm very lucky to be like where I am now, so like let me just not push this and like take it slow.
Let me tell you, the one day that I did not do that, like I said, I'm a busy body, so I'm like, I have a really hard time just sitting at home and like watching TV or something. And so one day it was really nice out and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go outside and just do some gardening. That was a horrible idea. So I did the gardening and I felt pretty fine while I was doing it, but then afterwards I was so tired, and then the next day was the worst I felt the whole time. I had one scary moment where I was literally like, I went upstairs just to go to the bathroom, and as I went into the bathroom, I felt like I was about to pass out. Like the muscles in my neck got like so tired that when I went to like just tip my head back just to like breathe for a second, my head like fell back because my muscles just like gave out. And I was so scared, like I didn't feel like I had enough energy to literally like call down to the kitchen where May was at the time to like be like, help. Yeah. Thankfully,
now she knows I told her to just like throw something.
I've learned that lesson. We don't have a code word. We have like, if you need help, like drop something, make a loud noise, because every time I make a loud noise, he's like, are you okay? But like I said, so I felt horrible. I like lost complete like strength. Thankfully I made it from the bathroom to our bedroom, because I was literally thinking like, I'm gonna throw up. Like I was like, if I can get somewhere I can lay down, maybe that will help. So I made it to to our bedroom and I laid down on the bed. Thankfully I felt so much less nauseous as soon as I laid down, but then I had like full body heat wave. Like I was in like a span of like 30 seconds, I was like, I need to like take my sweater off, like I am melting right now. And then I was just like, after the heat wave stopped, I just felt so emotional because it was so scary. Yeah. And I like tried to text Nate, but his phone was upstairs. So then thankfully it was like perfect timing. Nate like popped his head at the bottom of the stairs and was like,
I was making food and I just finished So I walked upstairs, I was like lunch or whatever it was, and I like didn't hear anything, so I went up into the room and she was just like laid out on the bed. And then she told me what had happened, and I was just like,
why didn't you say something? Yeah, because you looked at me and my eyes were like all watery. I was like, oh my god.
And then I was like, no more gardening.
Yeah, then I was banned from gardening. Yeah,
But
so
like she said,
that was the worst that happened, and it was because I pushed it too hard. I learned my lesson immediately.
Yeah, like she said earlier, we're probably about like 90% now, so we're doing a lot better and starting to like get back into
like
everything.
Routine. Now we're gonna try and get back to making 2 videos a week.
Yep, we're back.
But if it doesn't,
Hopefully.
I was gonna say, I'm shooting for back to normal 2 videos a week, but I know that like, I wanna listen to my body. Obviously our health comes first. Health, then hobbies.
Yeah.
So we're gonna hopefully do 2 videos, but if we can't do 2 videos, I'm not gonna try and push it and make us feel worse again.
So like, if anyone new subscribed or like if anyone like watched any of our old videos because there were no new ones up, anyone who didn't unsubscribe from us because we weren't dropping videos,
thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. It was really comforting to like still see people enjoying something that we were making, even though I wasn't able to do anything creative while we were sick. So that was honestly really nice.
But yeah,
wear your mask.
wear your mask. Wear them. Wear them.
As soon as we can be fully vaccinated, we are doing that. Please.
She got her first shot today, and I'm gonna get vaccinated. And wear your mask. Stay safe,
guys.
Bye.